After working hard at the gym, you need a mattress that works as hard as you do. Spinalign has engineered the perfect mattress for you and your active lifestyle. Don't compromise your recovery with inferior sleep. Order your Spinalign mattress today. After working hard at the gym, you need a mattress that works as hard as you do. Spinalign has engineered the perfect mattress for you and your active lifestyle. Don't compromise your recovery with inferior sleep. Order your Spinalign mattress today.
Rush Vapes, the world's first pre-workout vape.
I'm Dave Palumbo, founder of Species Nutrition. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work and are backed by science. From my earliest bodybuilding days, I believed in only putting the best in my body, and that lives on in the Species Nutrition line of products. We use only top-of-the-line formulations dosed for maximum results and the best flavoring systems available. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is a special one. He's our 2020 IFBB Tampa Pro Classic Physique Men's Champion, Deontrai Campbell. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Wow, congratulations on that big win, man. That was a tough fought battle you guys had up there.
Yeah, it was. I kind of knew that it would be once you see the guys backstage, and definitely wasn't easy. But I'm happy that it wasn't easy at all. So yeah.
Now, you turned pro 2 years ago at the North American, but in bodybuilding.
Yeah, yes, sir. Light heavyweight.
What made you decide to do men's physique? I mean, to do classic physique. Excuse me.
Yeah. So I wanted to. I knew I had. I could be competitive, but I wanted to also make it to the Olympia. So we kind of talked. My coach and I talked back and forth and said we can fit down to classic, definitely with our build, and eventually get to the Olympia right away. And that's what we did, right? So we did our first pro show, and clearly it was a good change in categories.
Now, why did you wait so long before you actually got on the pro stage? Because a lot of guys, like, nowadays it's like boom, bam, boom, right onto the pro stage,
Yeah. But first and foremost, I'm a family man. So we had my daughter. My wife was actually pregnant at the North Americans.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
yeah,
tough.
So that's very tough. While she's eating pizza, I'm over there. God, I'm just looking at her like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
So we had our baby, Eliana, not too long after that. So I wanted to take a break, focus on family, and then eventually my coach was saying, hey, we need to step on stage. So eventually, we went back to it, and clearly it was a smart move.
Yeah. It's amazing that you can make the. What's your cutoff for classic now? Like 205, something like that.
Classic is cutoff is 207 for my height.
Whew, that's going to be tough for you to suck down into that that weight category.
Yeah, it can get tough and grueling, but that's what this sport is about.
Yeah.
Right? So,
here's the top 5 call out from Tampa, where you beat Divine Wilson and and a bunch of these other guys in this top 5. Everyone was really good. I actually was very impressed with the Tampa Pro Classic lineup. You know, there wasn't a lot of name guys. I mean, Divine, obviously, people kind of knew who he was, but the quality was good. And so when you got up there and you're backstage and you're looking these guys over, because I don't buy into. I know everyone looks each other over. Did you think, hey, I got a chance to win this? I mean, Chris Hunt obviously had won a pro show a couple weeks earlier, and Divine obviously has been up there before as well. Were you? Did you think you had a shot at this thing?
I was getting into my head, to be honest. I would check out the other guys and look at myself and just think like, man, I know I'm gifted and I brought a great package, but look at these guys. And it wasn't until I started seeing the pictures after prejudging, so my confidence started going up there, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be 1 or 2 at this show. Not like I said, everybody brought it, but I knew that my package that we brought was worthy of 1 or 2.
Absolutely. I mean, this front double bicep pose, I love it. I mean, this is a great front double you got. I mean, that's pretty hard to beat in the whole division. I mean, I think you can stand next to, any of those guys, Chris Bumstead, with that Breon Ansley. I think that these guys are going to be a little worried when they see this shot up next to them on stage here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's definitely hard work that we put in, and nothing wrong with. I mean, Chris and Breon, they have some great physiques, but I'm ready to come for that top spot. So, yeah.
Now, is this it are you going to shut it down until the Olympia, or are you going to be hitting another one?
We were planning for a show, but we are going to shut it down, improve on what the judges told us to improve on, so we can be, take top 5 at least at our first Olympic show. So yeah, we're going to shut it down, focus on the Olympia, and see what we do.
Yeah. I don't know if you're typing over there or not, but I can hear it. So just kind of like, don't type. I get yelled at because I type, but I got to pull stuff up. But let's go. I want to show people your Instagram for a second, because you got a great nickname, Holy Hoke.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it on all my wrap-up shows. I love the nickname. Where did that come from?
I have a friend that I've kind of ran into online, and we're in this men's ministry group. And he would always say, man, you're like the Holy Hawk. You're like the Holy Hawk. I don't see anybody like you, like just out here doing what you're doing. You're like the Holy Hawk. And I just ran with it. It just kind of attached to me. And I think it's going to continue to go with me for the rest of my life. And I need to reach out to him and thank him, So
yeah, absolutely. That was a good nickname. It's hard to get a good nickname in our sport, but that's great. Now, how did you get involved in religion and doing all the kind of preaching and stuff you're doing?
My faith, it's kind of a long story. I mean, maybe I will share that some other time, but I went down a wild road. Then I went into the military and met this young guy who I just kind of looked up to, because I say young because I went a little bit later, and I'm there with 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, but
sure.
I kind of picked on about his faith, and he had a Bible, and I was interested, and we started talking, and he really shared his faith. And in the military, we didn't really have anything to do but to read. So I started picking up the Bible, and it just started, leading me to Christ. And since then, I've just been on this road of, giving God glory through, every platform I can. And I think it's a blessing to be on this big platform and give him glory in what I do.
Sure. And did you notice that when you found God, that like it really changed the direction of your life?
Oh, big time. Bodybuilding in vice versa with my faith, how strict you have to be. It helps both areas of my life. So definitely with my faith, it has helped me be more strict in bodybuilding as well. And those who I surround myself with too. So yeah, those both hand in hand kind of like help each other and continue to, because of how strict you have to be in society, or you can't be just out partying you know,
Right.
you can help lead somebody else to Christ who is struggling with partying or whatever. So yeah.
Right. Have you helped other bodybuilders in that sense? You know what? Hold on. Put the water bottle down too. Your mic, no, because your microphone is really sensitive, and it's picking up like all the little crinkles and stuff like that. So I want people to. This is a very important message. I want people to hear this, you know, really clearly. And I think it's important that people understand that people look. We hear about suicides. We hear about people who have just lost faith. I mean, what do you tell someone who's like down on their luck like that? You know.
It's tough because there are certain things that I don't struggle with when it comes to depression and stuff like that. But I do try to search scripture because everything in scripture can relate back to what you're struggling with in life. Sure. And to answer your question, I've had many people reach out to me and thank me for, you know, sharing words or sharing, you know, my testimony and stuff like that. But depression is real. And I found that going back to scripture and sharing Christ with them and praying about it ultimately before I talk to them has led me to, you know, help others with whether depression and whatever they're really struggling with. I'm not going to say I'm out here saving every single life out here, but I do share my faith with them the best to my ability.
I got to tell you, I'm a little jealous. I love that sword they gave you in Tampa there.
Oh yeah, you see how I'm holding it?
Yeah. It looks like a cross. Now, the funny thing is that how the heck did you get that thing back? You know, on the airplane.
Well, what's funny is I didn't fly.
Oh, you drove. You're smart. You're very smart. You're not going to get the COVID because of that.
Yeah, that too. So my wife and I, we actually drove and we did a little vacation out of it and sightseeing on the way back to Indiana. So we stopped in Nashville and had dinner and stuff like that. So it was pretty awesome to share that with my wife, you know, traveling.
That's great.
Yeah.
And if anyone bugs you, you could have just pulled the sword out on them, right?
Yeah, exactly. I thought about that. And what's funny is my first show that I ever won, they gave me like 4 swords for every, and I'm just like, every show I'm getting all these swords.
Oh,
like I could pull that out real quick.
That seems to be the new thing. Yes, swords. When I was coming up on the scene, there was only one show that gave away a sword. It was the Excalibur show in California, which of course Excalibur is a sword. So I was always jealous that I never won a sword. Nowadays, it seems like there's a lot of shows giving away swords. But it is a pain in the neck if you have to get on an airplane with a sword.
Yeah. I'm glad we drove. So
yeah,
I'm glad we drove.
Anyway, well, you know what? I want to just congratulate you, Deontrai, on the big win, and obviously, good luck at the Olympia later this year. I think that you have tremendous potential to do really well.
I appreciate you having me on today.
Okay, guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With. Brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo for Deontrai Campbell. We'll see you next time.